Ode to Robert Burns, January 25th, 1759. It was on that date Robbie Burns was born, a poor farmer's son. Tonight, with mirth and joy, we celebrate and remember Scotland's greatest poet, bar none. Growing up, Robbie worked hard on his father's farm. With no formal education, he was schooled mostly at home. At 15, he fell for Nellie Kilpatrick, her beauty and charm inspiring "Oh, Once I Loved a Bonnie Lass," his very first poem. Robbie pursued poetry and love, both with great zeal, for there were many young lassies he admired. To the belles of Mauchline he had great appeal. Indeed, there were 14 children he sired. Even more prolific in his poetry and song, he wrote over 400 poems in his 37 years. With a life cut short by illness gone terribly wrong, the shock of his death left Scotland in tears. Robbie was lauded and proclaimed Scotland's bard, for he wrote of simple things with meaning deep, and of love of a woman, and of life that was hard. His words made young lovers smile and old men weep. Robbie Burns' many poems justify his glory. This night we'll focus on one that features the uncertainty of life, illustrated in a story involving one of God's most humble creatures. A moment, please. A little mouse. On turning her up in her nest, November 1785. Wee slicket, cowering, timorous beastie. Oh, what a panic's in thy breastie. Thou needna start away so hasty with bicker and brattle. I would be laith to run and chase thee with murder and tattle. I'm truly sorry man's dominion has broken nature's social union, and justifies that ill opinion which makes thee startle at me, thy poor earthborn companion and fellow mortal. I doubt no whiles but thou may thieve. What then, poor beastie, thou maun live? A dame and knicker in a thrave's a small request. I'll get a blessing with the lave and never miss it. Thy wee bit housey, too in ruin, is silly what's the winds are strewing, and nothing now to big a new one of foggage green, and bleak December's winds ensuing, baith snell and keen. Thou saw the fields laid bare and waste, in weary winter coming fast, and cozy here beneath the blast thou thought to dwell, till crash the cruel coulter passed thou through thy cell. That wee bit heap of leaves and stibble has cost thee money a weary nibble. Now thou's turned out for all thy trouble, Lord house or hold, to throw the winter's sleety dribble and cranrick cold. But Mousie, thou art know thy lane, improving foresight may be vain. The best laid schemes of mice and men gang after gley, and leave us not but grief and pain for promised joy. Still, thou art blessed compared with me, the present only toucheth thee. But I backward cast my eye on prospects drear, and forward though I cannot see, I guess and fear. So in concluding these words of Burns' verse, let us note that his poems, whether lengthy or terse, offer views of life in ways not often seen by those whose senses were not quite as keen. For Robbie painted scenes with words insightful and clever, and his word-drawn pictures will last forever. A toast to Robbie Burns.
Hey, cheers.
And P.S. If some words I spoke were not clear, there's no need to wonder or fear. No, it wasn't my diction. I've no verbal affliction. But to ease any frustration with my recitation, Graham can provide all an English translation.